And we're live.
If you want to talk about injuries, did you watch the Conor McGregor fight? I didn't watch it live.
I did watch it live. Yeah, I watched it live, and I've seen like all the videos around it, the slow-mos. I've seen more than one doctor break it down, and I'm as informed as I know how to be. So it appears that if people didn't watch the fight, here's what happened. Dustin Poirier was fighting Conor McGregor. Conor won, I don't know, 5 years ago. Dustin won like 6 months ago. And this was going to be the rubber match, the one that decides who's the better fighter. I thought Conor looked pretty good on the feet for a few seconds, but by and large, Dustin beat the hell out of this guy. The first round did finish, and two judges scored it 10-8 for Dustin, and the other one had it 10-9. A 10-8 round isn't super common. Maybe one in every 20 rounds will be so lopsided that they grant it a 10-8, and this was one of those. Dustin got the top. He was raining elbows down on him, etc. At one point, Conor was like grabbing Dustin's, if I remember the fight correctly, he's grabbing Dustin's glove by the cuff, which is cheating. And he was using that to get up kicks on him. And Dustin was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. And he let Conor stand up. And then Conor was, he kicked him one time on the thigh and maybe on the elbow. And then he took a step back and his leg broke just above the ankle. It's a tib fib, if you guys know that at all. It means both bones in the leg broke. Mm-hmm. And visually, it looks like he got a second ankle. It's something people aren't used to seeing. It looks terrible. And there you have it. So Dustin felt like he damaged it by checking it early in the fight. And you can see it. He checks it and then he points to it like, I got you. That was worse for you than it was for you. Kicked me and you lost something. So Dustin felt like that was when it happened. Some doctors and fight experts, Kyle, you muted, thought it was when he hit his elbow. But Conor says that they had some stress fractures going into the fight. They had a doctor look at it. And I heard his coach talk about it. His coach was like, you'd think looking at x-rays is a really obvious science that like someone could look at an x-ray and know what's up. But with stress fractures, it's closer to listening to an engine, and where like, maybe a really trained ear hears something, but you can't be 100% sure. And so they cleared him to fight, but Conor had a vibe that his leg wasn't 100% going into the fight. And Conor is kind of using this to say that he didn't really lose.
Yeah. When Conor's down, he's going, "Doctor stoppage! Doctor stoppage!" Like he's screaming it. Like this doesn't mean anything. This doesn't mean anything. The doctor waved it off. If the doctor said go, I'd fucking limp back in there. Like he's letting him know, like, this doesn't fucking count. And I guess Dana likes making money. So in the press conference, Dana's like, I guess now Dustin fights for the title. So he fights, is it Charles Oliveira? Yes. I think that the guy with the shockingly white teeth, like they are so fake and white that he got boogie teeth. They are ridiculous. They are like,
what's his teeth?
Charles Oliveira. And they hurt to look at. They are so bright. Oh. Yeah. And would love.
I'm looking at the Charles Oliveira pictures. He seems to intentionally not smile for pictures.
They are absurd. And this is a man who could afford teeth. He is the lightweight champion of the UFC. I doubt he's like getting like a great deal yet because he's not super popular or anything. However, that man can, in that top right photo, it looks handsome. Okay, like they're just too white. They're not as big as I remember them being. They're just so white.
They're
tone that down. 3 shades more dark. And it's an improvement.
Are these his real teeth or are these like veneers he got? Because
can't be. You would think a fighter, like maybe he got him knocked out at some point, right?
That would make sense. Yeah.
I mean, why not go for super white teeth if you're gonna do it?
Because then like jackasses like us like make fun of you on the internet.
I don't think he'll hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably won't hear about it. You never know though. Maybe get some bad Google reviews and he gets
He's Brazilian, right? I don't know how his English is.
Brazilians are like notorious for not doing very well with English in the fighting world, right?
A little bit. Some do, some don't. Like if you look at like Amanda Nunes and what's his name? The fucking that Chael had the whole thing with that, like
Anderson Silva, maybe.
Silva. Yeah, of course. It's passable. Like, and it gets worse when they have to defend themselves against like steroid accusations. Like all of a sudden, like me no speak the English, like out of nowhere. The day before they were given a fucking dissertation in front of like a full media group. It's you never know. But
so Poirier will
Dana
fight.
said, Dana said, all right, so you're gonna fight he'll fight Charles for the title. And then I guess you do the rematch with Conor. It's whenever Conor's ready to go. And I'm just like, what? Are you serious? Like look,
a fourth one?
There are no bigger Conor fans than me. I love what an awful human being he is. I love it. And I love that as an awful human being, he says, oh, you believe in karma, do you? Fuck that. Like, no, he is always winning. But like on the pre-fight thing, they had this like thing where they showed like the best paid sports stars for last year. He is so far ahead. Like he makes LeBron look silly. He makes like those two soccer players who were like really famous look silly. He made $180 million by selling his liquor company and all of his other endorsements last year. Like $180 million last year.
Are you sure that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was like 600 million.
That's probably his net worth. But like 180 just last year that he made, and as an awful human being. Like he's laying on the ground with his ankle broken, and he's yelling, "You're gonna get it! I'm coming for you! You and your wife! You and your wife! Your wife's in my DMs! Your wife's in my DMs! You and your wife! You're both gonna get it!"
I don't know what the thing is with Dustin's wife, because what he said is that Dustin's wife is in his DMs, I think on Instagram, maybe Twitter, and that she wanted to see the pubic hair around his dick. And I'm like, is this completely made up out of whole cloth? Is he stretching it from something? That didn't bother Poirier. Is he stretching?
He's stretching it because like Conor showed screenshots of her like requesting to DM with him.
That's surprising. So Dustin is like, the wife stuff doesn't bother me at all. I don't care. I know that that's not even a hint of true. Like it's bullshit. But you're going to come to my house and murder me. If I pull out of this fight, you're going to murder me and my family and my children. That seemed like but he felt uncomfortable with that. And I thought like, actually, I'm going to kill you is just random bullshit. Like, I take that. But I heard it then. But then I heard it, and it just came across differently when Conor, who is actually an Irish like gangster thug street urchin, like says that it has a different vibe to it.
Yeah. Conor like is tweeting like pictures of Dustin with like his little daughter, and she's like 9 or something, and he's just like, I can't remember what Conor said, but he's like, I'm a nasty man. You don't want to mess with me. Like, I'm coming for you. And it's like, there's some implied stuff there. Like if it's almost like he's implying he's going to go hurt that man's 9-year-old girl. Yeah. That's what he's trying to do without ending up back in court. And look, I don't think Conor has any intention of hurting this man's 9-year-old girl. However, Conor's like, his left might be what most people think is his best attribute as a fighter, or maybe his mobility or his length, especially when he was at 145. No, his best skill as a fighter is getting in the heads of other people. And say what you want, like it definitely didn't work against Khabib. It just made Khabib like hurt him more. Yeah. But against like Jose Aldo, it worked. Because Jose is like some like, let's face it, low IQ individual from the favela who's a fucking amazing fighter and just the toughest man from Brazil at that point, at that weight class anyway. And he just couldn't wrap his head around this. He's like from some sort of like, he's like one of those Japanese guys from an honor society from like World War II who's like coming to like bow to you. And this guy's like, I'm going to fucking burn your dojo down. I'm going to fuck your little girl in the asshole. And he's like, oh! He said he was going to do these things. And it like threw him off. Like he was clearly like And even if you go back and watch that fight, I'm sure we all have.
Like 13 seconds, 19 seconds.
It's 13 seconds. I've seen it 100 times.
Okay.
And Joe Rogan's like, Jose looks stiff. He's and you can tell Jose Aldo's coming out like, God, he doesn't have a gun, does he? He didn't bring the gun, did he? Like, and Conor's just looking so loose. He's just like loosey goosey.
I liked, Dustin Poirier is a better fighter than Conor. He's kicked his ass twice in a row now. And he's like, I think that guy crossed the line, He's like, he's on the ground saying he's going to kill my family. He's like, fuck him. I'll kick his ass again. Like, damn straight you will. Damn straight you will. Don't give that guy the respect and certainly don't show him any fear. You've kicked his ass twice in a row now. You're making multi-millions out of this. Good for you. Dustin Poirier is a good guy. He uses his post-fight speeches not to set up his next fight, but to pimp his charity. He's like, we're trying to build playgrounds for kids. Where like he's an actual good person.
And Conor's over there. You better not let your daughter go out on the playground because I'll be there.
I'm going to single-handedly burn down every playground you try and put up. Every dollar you put towards the fucking playgrounds, I'll put free from a whiskey company into tearing it down.
He's buying up all the playgrounds and burning them.
Just like, what an ass. Wait, so they're doing a fourth fight?
Well, they're absolutely doing a fourth fight because
McGregor versus Poirier 4, just to be sure.
So
pretty much.
When Dana says that they're going to do a fourth fight or they're going to schedule this, it's not smart to put a lot of weight in that. He often doesn't keep his word. There are some interesting things. I wouldn't mind seeing Conor against an up-and-comer, right? Build the next guy's name. Hear this. Conor against Nate Diaz, right? Nate Diaz is also, 1-3 in his last couple fights. Conor's 1-4 in his last UFC fights. He's 1 win out of 5 if you count the Floyd Mayweather fight. 1 win out of 6 if, like me, you give the win to that old guy in the bar who refused to drink his whiskey and took his shot like he was nothing. Conor hasn't won a fight in his last 6 engagements. Set him up against Nate Diaz. Set him up against Tony Ferguson. There's some good fights to see other than just watching Conor get mauled by people who have spent the last 5 years in the gym honing their skills.
Nate Diaz, his record isn't very good.
That's why he belongs in the ring with Conor. His record's not very good either.
Nate Diaz is 20-13. Conor's 22-6.
He's 1-5 in his last 5 fights. His last 6 fights.
It's bad. He's won like 1 fight in 5 years or something.
Yeah. He's really pivoted to the
And the one fight he won, Donald Cerrone, is not an impressive win. That guy's like my age or something, and he doesn't win fights either.
Yeah, it became less impressive as like Donald continued to fail after that. Yeah, it was like, I think he fought like a real like a version of Donald that was really heading downhill. It was an impressive fight. It was cool to watch, like those shoulder strikes. Like it was like, oh shit! Like he just finished him so fast and so easily and so unconventionally. And he looked. No, there was no ring rust or anything. It was a very convincing win, and it seemed like a legit win at the time, like he was back. But then he was inactive again, and then the Khabib fight, and I don't know, man, it's been rough. Like I said, you won't find a bigger Conor fan than me, but I'm pretty. I want to watch him fight Poirier again, and I think he will.
Poirier, I want to watch him fight.
That's the fight because Poirier.
Tony Ferguson has a chin. Tony Ferguson has a motor. Conor McGregor is probably the scariest first round fighter we've seen in a while. I want to see Conor perhaps bloody up Tony Ferguson, him not go anywhere, and then let's see how rounds 2 and 3 go as he tries to dig himself out of that hole. That's a fight I'd like to see.
They don't care what you want to see, though. Dana wants him to fight Poirier. Poirier wants to fight Conor. Conor wants to fight Poirier. And when you've got that trifecta going, that's what's going to happen.
You make sense. I also think you're placing a lot of weight in like Dana's word and stuff. And
Dana likes making money. And say what you will, Conor's got such a huge fan base. They want to see it. And he is selling this whole like doctor stoppage thing so well as like, it didn't count. This whole thing didn't count. My leg broke itself. I broke my leg. I broke it.
The MMA world is totally unimpressed with Conor's bullshit. You know, they're putting him there with Sugar when he broke his leg and said he didn't really lose. Him on the ground pretending that was going well for him. He got 10-8'd in that round. That round finished. He got his ass kicked.
He did.
And him on the ground, unable to accept his losses. His coach saying that he didn't see any room for improvement. Like the whole thing just reeks of a guy who's looking for brain damage from a guy who's actually been training.
I saw Conor's like most recent post where he's literally on a scooter going down the sidewalk, and he's just like
he's talking shit on a rascal.
He's talking shit on a rascal. I swear to God, like you can't make this up. He's on a rascal talking shit, and he's just like he says something like, you know, he had me on my back there, but because my leg had already had the stress fractures, I had been practicing off my back a lot. That's why I'm very dangerous down there. You started seeing those up kicks, those elbows and stuff, and I was hurting him. And that's why he was backing off. And I'm like, I think he was backing off because he wanted you to stand up so he could hit you some more.
Yeah, he is.
Real quick, you guys mentioned the tweets. I just saw them. He just posted a photo of Poirier and his family, and then the one that all these are deleted, and then the reply to it was him just saying, Gonzo. Gonzo. Like, here's all your kids. Gonzo. Like,
I don't know what that means.
It means he's like, get out of here. You're Gonzo. Like,
Gonzo.
You're out of here.
I'm thinking it's a kind of porn.
Oh. No, he's saying like, you're out of here. We're gonna get rid of you, and then immediately
what kind of porn would Gonzo porn be?
Isn't it a kind of thing? I'm
Isn't
not
that the
100%
name?
sure.
Absolutely not. Gonzo is a character from
Is it the
Sesame
Muppets
Street,
or
right?
something?
Muppets.
Is
Yeah.
that it?
I knew it was some kind of a puppet.